you're having an awesome day. I am going to do my third in the series of A Little Wild, and I have a really fun idea. I'm hoping it's going to turn out like what I'm thinking. I told you that in this Little Wild series, I'm going to be bringing in things that I've gotten with my paper pumpkin. And this was some paper that we had gotten, and it was actually the card base, but I cut this off so that I can use that other striped paper as well. And I brought in my cardstock to be just in the family of the brown, but a little bit darker. That color is soft suede. I had done smoky slate in our last card, and it's just down from there, the soft suede. Not quite as dark as early espresso or the chocolate chip. So just to kind of coordinate with that card, and I want to have the coloring be mint colored. I'm going to create kind of a background to then cut out the bear. And I want to do the bear this time. We've done some with the elephant. And so you've seen me do this technique before. And I'm going to bring in my sponge and my little tool. It's actually probably like a chip bag holder, but I like to use it for this technique. And I'm just using one of our sponges. I'm going to use Pool Party. I'm thinking this is the color that I want. I'm not going to be showing the back of the animal. I just need enough paper to be for the front. I just think instead of coloring the bear brown, let's make him look like a stuffed animal. I love those little stuffies. My grandkids come over and they're always looking for a little stuffy to love up. So I used the stitched square die to cut this piece out from here, and I'll be elevating this up. And then this was what we did here when we rubbed on the Pool Party. So the next element is to bring in this brown baker's twine that I got, one of my paper pumpkins, and this colored mint Pool Party baker's twine. And because this paper actually has a little edge here, I want to take these two and tie them around that spot there to bring in these two colors. So I went around twice with both the brown baker's twine and the Pool Party, and now I'm going to elevate these with our straight dimensionals just on the back here. Now this is also going to be my tip of the week, but I'm going to show you a technique right now. Basically what I did to make this beautiful little frame was I took the next two sizes down from the square that I cut out originally here. This is my first cut, and then these two I washi taped together, and it cut this and another square out that will rest the bear on it. But we're going to put that aside, and I want to work on this little frame, and I want to make it super cute like designer paper. So I'm going to bring in my scratch and my soft suede, which is the color of the base of our card, and the Pool Party, which is the color of our little bear. So let's set these elements here. Eraser of a clean pencil. So I actually bought a pack of pencils so that I would have nice clean erasers when I do this technique. And what I want to do is create a polka dot with this. Do some dark and some lighter. So first generation stamping and second generation stamping, like that. And dip in again, and we'll go first generation, second generation, and then first generation, second generation. Now let's bring in the other color of the Pool Party, dipping in first generation, first generation, second. And that is what we come up with. And you can add to it if you want. I'm going to add a little more color right there. Maybe like a little extra color on that second generation. Okay. So now what we have is this really cool pattern of stripes and polka dots. And then we'll set the bear on the white like that. Okay, on page 208, there is a tree builder that has a flower, an apple, punches. So I've punched out 3 flowers, and it was one from the lighter that we did the bear. One I took my pencil tip and I darkened to give a darker flower, and then one from our soft suede paper that was left over from the base of our color. And then we also have a punch that has this tiny little flower I really love, and so I punched one more out of that paper. See how much you can do with just creating your own papers. And then a soft suede, and I'll put a little pearl in the center of each of these flowers to use as embellishment. This card, and it'll just add a pretty softness to it. And then I'll show you another technique that I do. I just kind of push the flower into my hand and give it a little petal look like that. You can do it with those tiny ones too. Use a pencil instead of your hand, and then just kind of give it a little roundedness. I've begun to assemble this card, but I don't want to leave you out as I'm putting it together. So I have the straight dimensionals in which you can purchase. I actually had some left over from, of course, a paper pumpkin. I want to elevate this square. It's super cute, and it needs to be elevated along with the striped paper. And I need to get this as straight on as I can. That looks pretty good. And then this also is elevated. I elevated the little sentiment and I cut it out second to the smallest, I believe, of the lots of labels. I lightened that again with the sponge in the pool party, and then cut it out and stamped it and put my 2 little flowers here and here. And I've already got my ribbon, and I will be putting my flowers that I punched with my little mini flower punch. And so we'll elevate the bear with dimensionals. Super cute. And now elevating this. So I've finished the card, and I'll just go over the elements of what I did to put this card together. And so I don't know if you happen to have any of these little bows. It was for the carousel, and it was full of fun little embellishments. And I wanted a little something more on my bow. And so I pulled that out of my stash of cute little embellishments, and it just matches it so perfectly. I love it. And I actually put 2 pieces of fun foam to elevate up that bear right there, because I wanted him to elevate higher than the already elevated polka dot. So we have 3 elevations, and I am very, very pleased about how this card turned out. I kind of had it in my mind, and I really wanted him to look like a little stuffed animal. Well, let's see. I don't want to ruin it, but maybe it will make it even that much better. We'll just take this aqua painter, and let's just go off a minute. Okay, and then just come in here and shadow him like that. Just wherever there would be a shadow. Kind of gives it a little bit more of a real feeling. Gives it a little bit more dimension to the coloring, and if you wanted to play around with that, that might be a nice idea too. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is take some Wink of Stella and make him glitter up a little bit more. That might be the better way to do it for me. So this is the final version of this card. I did do a little Wink of Stella on him. I hope you can see he now glitters, and I love all that kind of sparkle and glitter. It just gives a professional look, like you purchased the card in the end when you have a little bit of that on there. I hope you enjoyed working on this card with me, and this is my third in this series of A Little Wild. And tune in for my next card. I'm actually going to do 5 in this series. I normally do 4, but I have 2 more ideas I want to share. So I'm really excited to share my next ones as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. Have an awesome day. Send off some love in the mail yourself to someone that might be cheered by it. So I hope you have a really wonderful day. God bless you. Bye-bye.